Hey guys, it's been a minute since I sat down to film and I wanted to share my thoughts on using the Traveler's Notebook. I started this first back in November last year, and since it was my first time using a Traveler's Notebook, I was unsure if it was something that would stick. I've definitely fallen in love with using it, and it's become my daily planner system and my everyday carry. It's become my main planner among my Teacher Kaigi collection. Mostly I just love just going through, decorating each page, flipping back, and looking at the pages and the sort of like a memory keeping as well a little bit. And using the fountain pen, it's very beautiful. But also it has its own limitations, which is something that I will also talk about in this video. So first, I wanted to show you how I went for my first completed refill, and to give you a little bit of a context as well. Let me just rearrange. This is my first refill that I've completed, and I used this dotted grid insert as well for it. To give you a little bit of context, what I did for my setup was I have a monthly insert, and then I have a collections, year-round collections insert that I use, and then I have this dotted grid insert that I would use for my weeklies and any dailies collections that I use as well. So this notebook, this refill was from November to December, and I do have some pages that I've sort of clipped together, so just for privacy purposes. Just let me show you in more detail how that went for me. Oops. Okay, so I use this, like I said, in November and December, and I drew up my own inserts because I made the mistake of starting my monthly insert from January, but that's okay. I loved drawing out my own monthly pages and I knew that I would use this insert just for November and December only because I wanted to start fresh for January. After that, after those monthly pages, I have my weekly and my habit tracker for the week, my task list and purchases that I wanted to track, and that's pretty much stays consistent throughout the whole notebook. I do tweak some of it, as you'll see later on. I have some collections in here that just for planning for work, and you'll see that I switched between the purchases and task list because I knew that my task list was longer than my purchases, which worked out really well. I did a little bit of experimenting here and there, but I quickly realized that my initial setup worked really well for me too. I do stick in some memos or to-do lists here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty much stayed consistent, and I've just changed the decorations though. Yeah, I was really happy with it. It's worked really well for me. Just to show you a little bit of how I set it up, I would have my tasks with their circle, time, and then the name of the task, and then I would just have a dot for any tasks that I had. I would have a circle for the events, and then I would have a dot for the tasks. And basically any specific day task that I had to complete in that day, I would write it down on this weekly spread. But anything that I guess I could complete any time throughout the week or was like a recurring task, I'll write in this task list. Yeah, and that worked really well for me. I did make some tweaks to the task list starting from this year, which I will show you as well. And sometimes I would have like a just a daily one as well. I think on this day I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed with all the tasks that I had, so I wrote my own self-care checklist too for that day. And I wrote 2023 big picture, just an overview of some of the upcoming months and things that I needed to keep in mind for those months. I had an overview of the 2022 highlights for each month too, and books to read in 2023, and I wrote a little message for myself to reflect on the year as well. Yeah, so that's my insert that I had completed, and all I do is I just find the middle page here, and I would just push this through in my refill binder from Traveler's Company, and then whenever I complete an insert, I would attach it into these little spines, whatever you call them. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to filling in this binder up as I complete more refills. So just to push that aside, I wanted to also share my thoughts on my system so far and some of the limitations I've run into and possible solutions going forward. And first of all, I wanted to talk about my monthly insert. I really do need to think more about my setup because I've been finding that having the monthly refill insert isn't sparking joy. Although it is really nice to have something set out to plan my future events, like it's easy. I don't need to set it up as it goes, it's already here. I do miss setting up my own spreads. I love drawing out the monthly pages in my previous insert here, and they were sort of my favorite pages to look back on. I just loved these pages so much. And it was sort of nice having them sort of close to my weekly pages, and instead of having to like sort of flip back through each insert to go through and plan. So although I will stick to this monthly insert because I already purchased it, I don't want to waste it. I think for next year I won't buy this monthly insert. I'll just draw up my own insert along with my weeklies in the future. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that I have my year-round collections insert where I keep lists of things that I wanted to keep track of throughout the whole year. I wrote some lists in my weekly insert, and although those lists I didn't need practically for the whole year, I found that sometimes while I was working on this month, I needed to go back to this archived insert. Like I had to physically take this binder off from the shelf to consult some of the pages, and it was sort of a hassle to do that. And I didn't want to like repeat some of the pages in this just for that one or two times that I wanted to look it up. So I'm thinking like if I have any collection at all that is worth even one more look in the future, I won't write it in this weekly insert. I will keep it in my collections insert here, just so that I have it handy when I need it. So then I ran into that problem that sometimes with so many collections that I have, it was very difficult to navigate through the pages and find what I wanted to look at. So I was sort of like thinking about some ways that I can I guess like index my pages or just to find something really easily. So I was watching Megan Rhiannon's planning videos, and she has a system where she tags any of her notes with a colored circle sticker, and each color represented something. And I might do that actually. I have a spare page in the front. I might have different colored stickers, and then I might allocate a theme for each color, and then I'll go through and tag each collection just so it's easier for me to find what I'm looking for as well. But I don't know, I'll have to find some good stickers to do that and set up my key page. But if you have any suggestions on how to easily find information in your own collections, insert or commonplace book, or even if you just have your own passport-sized traveler's notebook, please let me know in the comments. I would love to check out your content and draw some inspiration from you. Yeah, so that was some of the thoughts that I had on my passport and the thoughts that I had so far. I already set up my January insert weekly pages, and as I fill up more pages in the future, I will share those pages with you and do a little flip through as well. Yeah, thank you so much for coming and watching this video. All in all, I really love having this leather leather traveler's notebook page. I will go to some more stationery books just to see how I can improve my setup in the future. Maybe I can add more features to it to help me organize my events and tasks. Yeah, and I'm really happy to share that system with you too. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and share some of your own suggestions in the comments below. I hope you are having a wonderful time, a new start to 2023, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you so much.